Okay, this is chapter 10 of Prodigy. Day. Another dream. I am up way too early on the morning of my 8th birthday. Light has just started filtering in through our windows, chasing away the navy and gray of the disappearing night. I sit up in bed and rub my eyes. A half-empty glass of water balances near the edge of the old night table. Our lone plant, an ivy that Eden dragged home from some junkyard, sits in the corner, vines snaking across the floor, searching for sun. John snored loudly in his corner. His feet stick out from under a patched blanket and hang off the end of the cot. Eden's nowhere to be seen. He's probably with Mom. Usually if I wake up too early, I can lie back down and think of something calming like a bird or a lake, and eventually relax enough to snooze a little longer. But it's no good today. I swing my legs over the side of the bed and pull mismatched socks over my feet. The instant I step into the living room, I know something's off. Mom lies asleep on the couch with Eden in her arms, the blanket pulled up to her shoulders. But Dad isn't here. My eyes start around the room. He just got back from the war front last night, and he usually stays home for at least 3 or 4 days. It's too soon for him to be gone. Dad, I whisper. Mom stirs a little, and I fall silent again. Then I hear the faint sound of our screen door against wood. My eyes widen. I hurry over to the door and poke my head outside. A rush of cool air greets me. Dad, I whisper again. At first, no one's there. Then I see a shape emerge from the shadows. Dad. I start running. I don't care if the dirt and pavement scratch me through the threadbare fabric of my socks. The figure in the shadows walks a few more steps, then hears me and turns around. Now I see my father's light brown hair and narrow honey-colored eyes, that faint scruff on his chin, his tall frame, his effortlessly graceful stance. Mom always said he looked like he stepped right out of some old Mongolian fable. I break into a sprint. Dad, I blurt out when I reach him in the shadows. He kneels down and scoops me into his arms. You leaving already? I'm sorry, Daniel, he whispers. He sounds tired. I've been called back to the war front. My eyes well with tears. Already? You need to get back to the house right now. Don't let the street police see you causing a scene. But you just got here, I try to argue. It's my birthday today, and My father puts a hand on each of my shoulders. His eyes are 2 warnings, full of everything he wishes he could say out loud. I want to stay, he's trying to tell me, but I have to go. You know the drill. Don't talk about this. Instead, he says, go back home, Daniel. Kiss your mother for me. My voice starts to shake, but I tell myself to be brave. When will we see you again? I'll come home soon. I love you. He puts a hand on my head. Keep an eye out for when I come back, all right? I nod. He lingers with me for a moment, then gets up and walks away. I go home. That was the last time I ever saw him. A day's passed. I'm sitting alone on my assigned Patriot bed in one of the bunk rooms, studying the pendant looped around my neck. My hair falls around my face, making me feel like I'm looking at the pendant through a bright veil. Before my shower earlier, Cade had given me a bottle of gel that stripped the fake color from my hair. For the next part of the plan, she told me. Someone knocks on the door. Day. A voice sounds muffled from the other side of the room. It takes me a second to reorient myself and recognize Tess. I'd woken up from a nightmare about my 8th birthday. I can still see everything like it happened yesterday, and my eyes feel red and swollen from crying. When I woke up, my mind started producing images of Eden strapped to a gurney, screaming as lab techs injected him with chemicals, and John standing blindfolded before a squad of soldiers. And Mom. I can't stop all this gaudy stuff from replaying in my head, and it pisses me off so much. If I find Eden, what then? How the hell do I take him from the Republic? I have to assume that Razor will be able to help me get him back, and in order to get him back, I've absolutely got to make sure Andon dies. My arms are sore from spending most of the morning under Cade and Hosko's supervision, learning how to shoot a gun. Don't worry if you miss the elector, Pasco said as we worked on my aim. He ran his hands along my arm enough to make me blush. Won't matter. There will be others with you who will finish the job regardless. Razor just wants the image of you pointing a gun at the elector. Isn't it perfect? The elector at the war front gave morale-boosting speeches to the soldiers, gunned down with hundreds of troops in the vicinity. Oh, the irony! Pasco then gave me one of his signature grins. The people's hero kills the tyrant. What a story that will be. Yeah, what a story indeed. Day, Tess says from behind the door. Are you in there? Razor wants to talk to you. Oh, right, she's still out there calling for me. Yeah, you can come in, I reply. Tess pokes her head inside. Hey, she says, how long have you been in here? Be good to her, Kate had told me. You two match. I shoot Tess a small smile in greeting. No idea, I reply. I was getting some rest. Couple hours, maybe? Razor's asking for you in the main room. They're running a live feed of June. I thought you might be live feed? She must have made it. She's still okay. I jumped to my feet. Finally an update on June. The thought of seeing her again, even if it's on a grainy security cam, makes me dizzy with anticipation. I'll be right out. As we head down the short hall toward the main room, a number of other Patriots greet Tess. She smiles each time, exchanging gentle jokes and laughs as if she's known them forever. Two boys give her good-natured pats on the shoulder. Hurry the hell up, kids. Don't want to keep Razor waiting. We both turn to see Cade jog past us in the direction of the main room. She pauses to swing one arm around Tess's neck, then ruffles her hair lovingly and plants a playful kiss on her cheek. I swear you're the slowest of the bunch, sweetheart. Tess laughs and shoves her off. Cade winks back before picking up her pace, disappearing around the corner into the main room. I look on, a little surprised at Cade's display of affection. Not something I'd expect from her. I'd never thought about it before, but now I realize how good Tess is at forming new bonds. I sense the Patriots' ease around her, the same ease I'd always felt with her on the streets. There's her strength, no doubt. She heals. She's comforting. Then Baxter passes us. Tess turns her eyes downward as he brushes her arm, and I notice him give a brief nod before glaring at me. When he's out of earshot, I lean over to Tess. What's his deal? I whisper. She just shrugs and brushes my arm with her hand. Don't mind him, she replies, repeating what Cade said back when I first arrived at the tunnel. He has mood swings. Tell me about it, I think darkly. If he gives you a hard time, let me know, I mutter. Tess shrugs again. It's okay, Day. I can handle him. I suddenly feel a little stupid, offering my help like an arrogant knight in shining armor when Tess probably has dozens of new friends eager to help her out, when she can help herself. By the time we've made it out to the main room, a small crowd has gathered in front of one of the larger wall screens, where a tape of security cam footage is playing. Razor is near the front of the crowd with his arms casually crossed, while Posco and Cade stand beside him. They see me and motion me over. Day, Razor says, clapping me on the shoulder. Cade gives me a quick nodding greeting. Good to see you here. Are you okay? I've heard you've been a little down this morning. His concern's actually kind of nice. It reminds me of the way my father used to talk to me. I'm fine, I reply. Just tired from the trip. Understandable. It was a stressful flight. He gestures up to the screen. Our hackers got us footage of June. The audio separated out, but you'll get to hear it soon enough. I thought you'd want to see the video regardless. My eyes are glued to the screen. The images are crisp and colorful, as if we're hovering right there in the corner of the room. I see an ornate dining chamber with an elegantly decorated dinner table and soldiers lining the walls. The young elector is seated at one end of the table. June sits at the other, wearing a gorgeous dress that makes my heartbeat speed up. When I'd been the Republic's prisoner, they'd beaten me to a pulp and thrown me in a dirty cell. June's incarceration seems more like a vacation. I'm relieved for her, but at the same time, I'm a little bitter. Even after betraying the Republic, people with June's pedigree get to coast, while people like me suffer. Everyone watches me watching June. Glad she's doing good, I say to the screen. Already I'm disgusted with myself for dwelling on such mean thoughts. Clever of her to start talking to the elector about their college years at Drake, Razor says, summarizing the audio as the video plays. She planted the story. They're going to have her take a lie detector test next, I'd imagine, and we'll have a straight path to Andon if she's good enough to pass it. Our next phase tomorrow night should run smoothly. If she's good enough to pass it, an early bond. Good, I replied, trying not to let my face betray my thoughts. But as the footage continues, I see Andon order the soldiers out of the chamber, and I feel a knot tighten in my throat. This guy's all sophistication, power, and authority. He leans close to say something to June, and they laugh and drink champagne. I can picture them together. They match. She is doing a good job, Tess says, tucking her hair behind her ears. The elector's completely into her. I want to dispute this, but Posco chimes in brightly. Tess is totally right. See that glow in his eyes? That's a man won over right there, I can tell you that. His head over heels for our girl. She'll have him completely hooked in a couple days. Razor nods, but his enthusiasm is more subdued. True, he says, but we'll need to make sure Andon doesn't get into June's head, too. He's a born politician. I'll find a way to have a word with June. I'm glad that Razor speaks sense and caution during a time like this, but I have to turn away from the screen now. I never considered the idea that he might be able to get into June's head. Everyone's comments fade as I stop listening. Tess is right, of course. I can see the desire on the elector's face. He gets up now and walks to where June sits shackled to the chair, then leans in close to talk to her. I wince. How could anyone resist June? She's perfect in too many ways. Then I realize that I'm not upset over Andon's attraction to her. He's going to be dead soon anyway, right? What makes me sick is that June doesn't look like she's faking her laughter in this video. She almost seems to be having a good time. She's on par with men like him, aristocrats, made for the Republic's upper class life. How can she ever be happy with someone like me, someone with nothing but a handful of paper clips in his pockets? I turn and start to walk away from the crowd. I've seen all I want to see. Wait up! I look over my shoulder to see Tess hurrying after me, her hair flying into her face. She skids into step beside me. Are you okay? She asks, studying my expression as we head back down the hall toward my room. I'll be fine, I reply. Why shouldn't I be? Everything's going just perfectly. I give her a tense smile. Okay, I know. I just want to make sure. Tess gives me a dimpled grin, and I soften towards her again. I'm fine, cousin. Seriously. You're safe, I'm safe. The Patriots are on track, and they'll help me find Eden. That's all I can ask for. Tess brightens at my words, and her lips curl into a teasing smirk. There's been some gossip about you, you know. I lift my eyebrows playfully. Oh, really? What kind of gossip? Rumors that you're alive and well are spreading like wildfire. It's all anyone's talking about. Your name's spray painted on walls all over the country, even over the electors' portraits in some places. Can you believe that? Protests are popping up everywhere. They're all chanting your name. Tessa's energy wanes some. Even the quarantine folks in Los Angeles. I guess the whole city's under quarantine now. They've sealed Los Angeles? This takes me aback. We'd learned about the gem sectors being fenced off, but I've never heard of such a large-scale quarantine. What for, the plagues? Not for the plagues. Tessa's eyes get wider with excitement. For riots. The Republic's broadcasting it officially as a plague quarantine, but the truth is that the whole city's rebelling against the new elector. Rumors are spreading that the elector is hunting you down with everything he's got, and some patriots are telling people that Andon was the one who ordered your family's... Tess hesitates, turning bright red. Anyway, the Patriots are trying to make Andon sound bad, worse than his father. Razor says the LA protests are a great opportunity for us. The capital has had to call in thousands of extra troops. A great opportunity, I echo, remembering how the Republic had to put down the last protest in Los Angeles. Yep, and it's all thanks to you, Day. You triggered it, or at least the rumor that you're alive did. They're inspired by your escape and pissed about how you're being treated. You're the one thing the Republic can't seem to control. Everybody's looking to you, Day. They're waiting for your next move. I swallow, not daring to believe it. That can't be possible. The Republic would never let rebellions get that far out of control in one of the country's biggest cities. Would they? Are the people actually overwhelming the local military there? And are they rebelling because of me? They're waiting for your next move. But hell, if I even know what that's supposed to be. I'm just trying to find my brother. That's it. That's all. I shake my head, forcing down a sudden tide of fear. I'd wanted the power to fight back, yeah? That's what I was trying to do for all these years, wasn't I? Now they're handing the power to me, but I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, right, I managed to reply. Are you kidding me? I'm just a street con from LA. Yeah, a famous one. Tessa's infectious smile instantly lightens my mood. She nudges me in the arm as we reach the door to my room. We step inside. Come on, Day. Don't you remember why the Patriots agreed to recruit you in the first place? Razor said you could become as powerful as the new elector himself. Everybody in the country knows who you are, and most of them actually like you. Something to be proud of, yeah? I just walk over to my bed and sit down. I don't even notice right away that Tess seats herself beside me. She sobers at my silence. You really care about this one, don't you? She says, smoothing the covers over the bed with one hand. She's not like the girls you used to fool around with in Lake. What? I reply, confused for a second. Tess thinks I'm still brooding about Andon's infatuation with June. Tess's own cheeks are turning pink now, and I suddenly feel uncomfortably warm sitting alone with her, her big eyes fixed on me, her crush unmistakable. I've always been smooth at handling girls who've liked me, but they were strangers. Girls who'd pass in and out of my life without consequence. Tess is different. I don't know what to do with the idea that we could be more than friends. Well, what do you want me to say? I ask. I want to hit myself as soon as it comes out of my mouth. Stop worrying. I'm sure she'll be fine. She spits out the last word with sudden venom, then goes quiet again. Yeah, I definitely said the wrong thing. I didn't I didn't join the Patriots because I wanted to, you know? Tess rises from the bed and stands over me, her back stiff, her hands clenching and unclenching. I joined the Patriots because of you, because I was worried sick about you after June took you away and arrested you. I thought I could talk them into saving you, but I don't have the bargaining power June has. June can do whatever she wants to you, and you'd still take her back. June can do anything she wants to the Republic, and they'll take her back too. Tess raises her voice. Whenever June needs something, she gets results, but my needs aren't worth a bucket of pig's blood. Maybe if I were the Republic's darling, you'd care about me, too. Her words cut deep. That's not true, I say, getting up and grabbing her hands. How could you even say that? We grew up on the streets together. You have any idea what that means to me? She pauses. She purses her lips tight and looks up, trying not to cry. Day, she begins again, have you ever wondered why you like June so much? I mean, well, given how you were arrested and all. I shake my head. What do you mean? She takes a deep breath. I've heard of this thing somewhere before, on the Jumbotrons or something, where they were talking about prisoners from the colonies, about how kidnapping victims fall for their captors. I frown. The Tess I know is fading away into a cloud of suspicion and dark thoughts. You think I like June because she arrested me? You really think I'm that twisted in the head? Day, she says carefully. June turned you in. I throw down Tess's hands. I don't want to talk about this. Tess shakes her head mournfully, her eyes glossy with unshed tears. She killed your mother, Day. I take a step back from Tess. I feel like I've been slapped in the face. She didn't do it, I say. She may as well have, Tess whispers. I can feel my defenses rising again, closing me off. You're forgetting that she also helped me escape. She saved me. Look, I've saved you dozens of times, but if I turned you in and your family died for it, would you forgive me? I swallow. Tess, I'd forgive you for just about anything. Even if I was responsible for your mom's death? No, I don't think you would. She fixes her eyes on mine. Her voice carries a hint of harshness now, armored with an edge of steel. That's what I mean. You treated June differently. Doesn't mean I don't care about you. Tess ignores my reply and barrels on. If you had to choose between saving either me or June, and you had no time to waste, what would you do? I can feel my face going red as my frustration builds. Who would you save? Tess uses a sleeve to wipe her face and waits for my answer. I sigh impatiently. Just tell her the gaudy truth. You, all right, I'd save you. She softens, and in that moment the ugliness of jealousy and hate is smoothed away. All it takes is a little sweetness for Tess to turn back into an angel. Why? I don't know. I run a hand through my hair, unable to figure out why I can't take control of this conversation. Because June wouldn't need my help. Stupid, so stupid. I almost couldn't have said anything worse. The words spilled out before I could stop myself, and now it's too late to take them back. That's not even the right reason. I would have saved Tess because she's Tess, because I can't bear to imagine something happening to her. But I don't have time to explain that. Tess turns and starts walking away from me. Thanks for your pity, she says. I hurry over to her, and when I take her hand, she jerks away. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. I don't pity you, Tess, It's fine, she snaps. It's just the truth, yeah? Well, you'll be reunited with June soon enough, if she decides not to go back to the Republic. She knows how cold her words are, but she doesn't try to sugarcoat them. Baxter thinks you're going to betray us, you know? That's why he doesn't like you. He's been trying to convince me of that ever since I first joined. I don't know. Maybe he's right. She leaves me standing alone in the hall. Guilt slices through my skin, opening veins as it goes. A part of me is angry. I want to defend June, and tell Tess all the things June had given up for my sake. But is Tess right? Am I just deluding myself?